We've all probably wondered what it would take to survive if we were truly, completely on our own. Well, today we're diving into a story about exactly that. It's this harrowing journey of survival that, believe me, turns into something so much deeper.
7 days. A week. I mean, it doesn't sound like a huge amount of time, right? But just imagine measuring that time not in hours, but in every single heartbeat, every jolt of terror, and every tiny flicker of hope.
And here's the real kicker. This isn't just being alone in like a quiet room. We're talking about being completely, utterly isolated in one of the most massive and unforgiving wildernesses on the entire planet. So how does a story like this even begin? Well, it almost always starts with something small, doesn't it? A single wrong turn. Just one moment of disorientation, and then boom, the familiar path is gone and your whole world just transforms. And just like that, the beautiful, living jungle becomes a cage. Suddenly, every direction looks exactly the same. That symphony of nature you might have admired, it's now just a wall of noise. And there's this one single thought that just echoes louder than anything else. It's that deep, primal fear that just settles right in your gut. All right, so once that first wave of shock starts to fade, something else takes over: instinct. The real fight for survival begins, and it's this raw, physical battle against an environment that honestly couldn't care less if you live or die. I mean, it's a question we all probably play out in our heads, right? But when you're actually faced with it, for real, your mind has to get sharp, and it has to get sharp fast. So what do you do first? What's priority number one when everything is on the line? Okay, so the survival manuals, they give you a pretty clear playbook, right? Step 1, find clean water. Step 2, build some kind of shelter to protect yourself. And step 3, and this might be the hardest one of all, you gotta fight that urge to panic and just wander off. You stay put. Wait for rescue. Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, the Amazon doesn't exactly read the manual. The reality on the ground is just a relentless assault on your senses, on your body. You're not just looking for water, you're trying to dodge venomous snakes that are probably right there. You're not just building a shelter, you're seeing fresh jaguar tracks way too close for comfort. And that hunger, it starts as a distraction, but it becomes this all-consuming obsession. And then, night falls. The darkness is total, and every little sound, a rustle in the leaves, the snap of a twig, it just fuels this absolute overwhelming terror.
And you can imagine, day after day of that kind of pressure, it really starts to take its toll. Your body gets weaker, sure, but it's your mind that truly begins to unravel. You eventually hit this point where total physical exhaustion crashes right into complete mental despair. Wow. This quote it captures that psychological collapse perfectly. The entire world outside just seems to disappear, and all that's left is the screaming in your own head, the noise of your own fear, your own loneliness. This is it. This is absolute isolation. And we're not talking about a peaceful silence here. No. This is an empty silence. This is the silence of just giving up. This is it. This is rock bottom, the point where every single instinct in your body is screaming at you that it's over, that there is no way out. But you know what? It's right here, at the absolute lowest point, that something completely unexpected can happen. I mean, think about it. When you physically cannot fight anymore, you have to do something else. And this is where the whole journey shifts. It stops being a desperate struggle and becomes something way more profound. The whole experience turns into a kind of vigil. You're not just waiting anymore. You're watching. You're observing. You're present in a way that's just totally impossible when your brain is flooded with panic. Your focus isn't on surviving the next hour anymore. It's just about being right here in this moment. And this really shows that mental shift, doesn't it? It's like a switch flips. All that chaotic energy of fighting the jungle, all that fear and panic, it gets replaced by this calm energy of just watching it. Fear turns into awareness. Panic turns into patience. And that constant, exhausting struggle, it transforms into acceptance. It is such a profound change in perspective. You're no longer seeing the jungle as this enemy you have to conquer. Instead, you start to see it for what it is, this massive, living, breathing system, and you're just a tiny, temporary part of it. And believe it or not, in that simple acceptance, you find this totally unexpected well of strength.
So eventually, the vigil does end. Rescue comes. But the person who walks out of that jungle is not the same person who wandered into it. That whole ordeal leaves a permanent mark, and it really shapes the incredible emotional journey that happened over those 7 days. This timeline really breaks down that whole transformation, doesn't it? You start on day 1 with just pure, raw fear. By day 3, you've hit the depths of despair. But then, by day 5, something shifts to acceptance. And finally, on day 7, it's like a rebirth. You're coming back to the world, but you're seeing it with completely new eyes.
So, what do you really take away from something like this? I mean, what's the lesson? It's so much more than just a story about endurance. It's this deep, gut-level understanding of your own resilience. It's a masterclass in how solitude can just strip away everything that's not essential and show you what's actually left at your core. And really, that's the big question this whole story leaves us with, isn't it? When you strip everything away, all the noise of our daily lives, all the distractions, and you have nothing but your own thoughts and the world around you, who do you become? What do you find deep down at your core? What are you really made of?